It's been a while. Welcome back. If you want to pick right off the bat, I'm going with Richardson Hitchins over Paro by points or decision on the DAZN card coming from Puerto Rico tonight. My name is Percy, and welcome to the 4Bs, where we talk boxing, betting the B-side, and other BS. If you don't want to miss an episode, please make sure to like and subscribe. Now, in that main event for tonight, I believe that we have a very close line, money line there, because of the effort that Paro put in his last fight against Subriel Matias, coming away with one of the biggest upsets of the year. However, when I look at that fight, what I think it was more indicative of is what Subriel Matias is not than what Paro is. While I have my questions about Richardson Hitchins, I'm going to go with the talent and the pedigree of Hitchins over Paro in this one. I think what you're going to see is Paro being the aggressor, unlike what he was against Matias because of Matias's power. He will be coming forward southpaw against Hitchins, who has shown well against southpaws in the past. Hitchins will be using his jab pretty effectively. I fear that what's going to end up happening is this fight is going to be looking kind of boring to the average person for most of the fight. I hope not, and I actually wish I would be betting on Paro here, but I do think that Hitchins is the guy who's going to win. I'd be rooting for Paro to win. From this card, this is the only fight that you can actually bet on both FanDuel and DraftKings. You get a slightly better price on the points or decision with Hitchins at plus 155 on FanDuel, but if you're looking to parlay it with anything, then it's going to have to be with DraftKings at plus 150. So very negligible difference, but just a difference there that I want to make note of. On the undercard, you have a fight here between Jalil, Major Hackett, and Jose Roman Vazquez. Now, the last time that Major Hackett had been featured on a card, we had bet on him to go the distance with Pete Dobson, and even said, let's take a flyer on Pete Dobson to win the fight. Dobson fought a pretty close fight. I think that was the right call there, but I do not see that happening again this time. Vazquez is not Dobson. I believe Vazquez is more like the guy that Hackett's team wanted to see in Dobson, where this would be a showcase fight for him, and he's going to get the stoppage that he was looking for against Dobson. For this, you can go to DraftKings, and it's really just more of like a parlay piece, because what you're looking at is a minus 180 to have him win by stoppage. On another undercard fight, you'll have Henry Lebron versus Chris Petufo Diaz. In this one, I'm going to say the smart money would probably be on Lebron to win by decision, but that's at minus 225 on DraftKings, and I really want to just take a shot with LeBron to get the stoppage over Diaz in this one, and that's at plus 320. Here's the reasoning behind why the stoppage could possibly work out. Petufo Diaz is a very tough fighter, and in the past he's fought against top-level contenders and champions and brought them to a decision or into the very last round before they could get a stoppage. This includes guys like Isaac Dogbe, Shakur Stevenson, and Emmanuel Navarrete, who will be featured on the ESPN Plus card later. Those all happened 3 to 5 years ago, though. So what I'm hoping for here is that we kind of see Diaz maybe lose to LeBron, but also be losing to Father Time in this one, have a little bit taken off of what he's able to do, and LeBron gets a very notable stoppage onto his resume, possibly because Diaz is not the same guy he was 3 to 5 years ago. Do I expect that that's going to happen? I don't know that I can expect it, but when you give me plus 320 on that versus minus 225 for a decision for LeBron, I'm going to go with the plus 320 and take my chances. This kind of reminds me, though, of a little thing. The last time that I talked with you guys about a fight was around the time that Jake Paul fought Mike Tyson. I want to come straight out and say I do not think the fight was fixed. What I do think is that a 58-year-old Tyson lost to Father Time himself many decades ago, and Jake Paul was just there to collect a victory over him in Father Time's place. On a much smaller scale, that's what I'm thinking might happen here, where you lose a little bit of your skills, and Diaz ends up succumbing to LeBron in this one. The last fight that I want to give you, I want to tell you this is more off of a gut feeling than anything when I was watching the weigh-in. This one regards Marc Castro versus Augustin Ezequiel Quintana. Castro was featured on the Crawford versus Madrimov fight, I believe, undercard, and he was, even then they were talking about him at 130 pounds. They were saying he was really, his team was saying he was really struggling to make weight for this one. They don't think it would be he'd be able to fight at 130 anymore, and he's going to fight this one at 135. And he comes in as a minus 1100 favorite, I should say, whereas Quintana is a plus 700 underdog. From what I saw in the weigh-in, even though they had contracted to fight at 135, and then you'll see in this tweet from Chris Mannix from yesterday, Quintana's team had actually wanted a catch weight of 138 because he had trouble making it into the country. What I saw in the weigh-in was that Marc Castro looked like he was weight drained and maybe struggled to make 135, and probably was very thankful he didn't have to. I wonder if he could be ripe for an upset here with him possibly not even being able to fight at 135 anymore after not even having fought yet. He's a 130 and moved up to 135. Maybe he's more naturally at 140. So that's a plus 700 on Quintana. I don't have a ton of confidence in it, but it's something I'm going to take a shot on. There you have it for all the fights on the DAZN card. I'll be coming back to you again later with the fights from ESPN in a little bit after I've done a little bit more research on that. But as always, good luck to you on your picks, and may we both come out of these winners.